Hi, and welcome back to ENTP Life. Now, first and foremost, I want to thank all the subscribers who have contributed to the channel and who have hit that subscription button to get me over that 100 subscriber mark. I really appreciate it. It's an awesome number, and I'm always looking to grow the channel further. Now, if you guys came to this channel because you're interested in real estate, wealth building, investing, or just changing your life, take the time out now, hit that subscription button, and let's continue that growth. Now, before we get into the video, I really want to know from you guys, what do you think about my new setup? I'm trying different areas in the house and trying to change the overall look and appeal of the channel. So if you like this setup, let me know in the comment section below if you think it's a good look. Now, in the short time that I've had this channel, I noticed that my FHA 203k loan review is the most watched video of them all. And it's actually the video that has the most engagement with comments and likes. And it turns out that it seems to be a loan program that is misunderstood, or a lot of people are looking at to get a sense of or get that entry into real estate. Now, in reviewing the comments, I saw that there were people who were interested in using the FHA 203k loan program, but they weren't sure exactly if they were able to utilize it or it's going to be the best option for them. Now, I really want to dive further into the FHA 203k conversation to show you exactly how you can use this loan program to help you build your real estate portfolio and get to the next level. Now, for those of you who are watching this for the first time and aren't familiar with the FHA 203k loan program, it's a loan program that is sponsored by the federal government or backed by the federal government, and it allows first-time home buyers to purchase a home with as little as 3.5% down and be able to finance renovations for their home in that same mortgage. Now, for those of you guys who are looking to purchase a home that's a little rundown or needs some improvements, the FHA 203k loan is going to work perfectly, because most conventional loans and traditional loans are not going to allow you to purchase a rundown house. They want the house to be at least livable and in good condition. So the FHA 203k loan functions a lot like hard money in that they'll let you buy a house based on the house's value and not on the house's current appearance. So it's one of those programs that I like to recommend to first-time buyers who are interested in taking on a renovations project and redeveloping a house that's either a short sale, REO, or something along those lines, something that's distressed. The 203k loan program works perfect for that. Now, if you're not interested in using your loan to purchase and rehab a house, and you just want to buy something and move right in, there's conventional loans that can get you in as low as 5%, and there's also an FHA program that I believe starts at 3.5% as well for functional normal houses. So you don't have to take yourself out of the game completely because it's not a rental property. Just use the lowest down payment option that you have as the first property. Now that you have a little bit of background on how that loan program is structured and why I like it, because it's a low down payment and you can use it for renovations, I'm going to tell you a few ways how you can use this program to your advantage and the way that I would use it if I had the ability to use it again. Now, I bought my third property, which was the first one in my name, using the FHA 203k loan program. And I purchased that to function as a rental property that I was going to rent to college students and that I was going to occupy myself. So the idea was to buy this house, rent out the rooms on the upper levels, finish the basement so that it's a livable apartment for myself. That way I'm able to charge a premium for the upstairs rooms and live in the basement for free and even turn a little bit of a profit. Now, this house was right across the street from a university, and I was able to squeeze out 10 spaces for students to live in. And that was converting dining rooms, garages, all kinds of things. It's completely not legal and not the right thing to do, but I did it anyway. And legal from a building department standpoint. And I did it anyway and was able to generate some cash flow off of the house while living there. So I like that format because it allowed me to get really good tax deductions or good tax breaks, generate income, and have a place to live. And it also gave me practice in purchasing a home that required renovations. And without me even knowing it, at that time, it was setting me up to continue down the life of a flipper because the FHA 203k loan program is structured a lot like how hard money lenders lend. The same kind of mechanics, the same kind of philosophy and ideas go into hard money buy and flips as goes into the FHA 203k loan program. So if you're a first-time buyer, here's what I suggest that you do. Either get a house that's right near a university, that's either an estate sale, that it's an older folks home and needs renovations. It's not in dead shape, it's not in horrible shape. It's something that is already livable but could benefit from some improvements. New roof, maybe a new boiler, paint, kitchen cabinets, something that will just spruce it up, okay? You don't need to go for the worst property on the block as your first deal, because it's gonna be a little challenging if you've never managed construction in your life to get into a property that's gonna require permits, architectural plans, maybe has major engineering problems, and you don't know it because you've never dealt with that. So I would advise that you seek out something that is physically livable, that's in good shape, and that is an area like a college town where you know that you would be able to find renters quickly that are willing to pay a lot of money for that property. Either that or get like a 2 to 3 family home that's in the same condition. A little rundown, definitely needs updating, but not a complete gut job. Like I said, it gives you some experience with the buying process, the appraisal process, and all the processes that will come into play in the future of your career, or in years to come in your investing career, and it's not going to be too overwhelming for you, okay? Now, the reason why I say go with something that has multiple units is because you want to more or less mitigate or hedge your risk, right? If you have more units, there's a lower likelihood that you have total non-performance from your tenants, right? So what I mean by that is if you have a single family home and you're renting that out, right? And first of all, you couldn't even do that with an FHA loan because you need to live in the home. But if you had a single family house that you were renting out and that one family stopped paying, now the full burden of covering your mortgage is on you. But if you had a 2 to 3 family house, the chances are that all 3 of your tenants just stop paying at the same time is unlikely. Or that all 3 units are vacant at the same time, that's unlikely as well. So by having multiple revenue streams from the same property really helps to mitigate your exposure to having to cover a full mortgage payment when you are renting that property out. So more units, less risk. Now that I gave you a little background on the FHA 203k loan program, I'm going to tell you exactly how you should be using this program and why. One way to use this program is to purchase a home near a university or in that college town setting. That's how I did it the first time. I knew that if I could get a house close enough to the university, and that university also had not enough rooms, right? That's something that you're going to want to research. Does the university have enough housing to support all the people who are in need of housing? If they don't, you have a really good opportunity to stuff that house full of students. And the thing about the students is that they're going to be paying for it by the room. And you're going to be able to charge way more and get way more revenue from that rental property by splitting it by the room. And if you're living in the house, which you're supposed to be living in it, if it's an FHA loan, you're going to be able to manage and keep an eye on things so that it's not too out of hand. Now, the downside to that is obviously you're going to be living with college students. But if you're fresh out of college or you're really young, like I had one gentleman who reached out to me and he said he's 20 years old and he's looking to get started. He's really young. He's not going to have a problem fitting into the lifestyle of college students. And he'd be able to live in that house, generate tons and tons of revenue, and start his investing career that way. He'll probably be able to live in that house for free, which allows him to now save his rent, what he would be paying in rent towards the next deal. Okay? So I really like college towns. They generate revenue. The downside to that is that they require way more management. College students are a little needy. They don't know how to take care of basic home systems. For instance, a circuit breaker may trip. They don't know what's going on. There's no power in the house. It is really just a breaker switch that tripped because somebody was using a blow dryer or something along those lines. They're a little messy. They don't really like to clean the common spaces, the kitchens, the bathrooms, and it gets really gross if you don't have maybe a cleaning service coming in to clean up just those common areas. They usually take pretty good care of their rooms, but nobody's cleaning up anybody else's mess, and it always becomes an issue. They also don't like to take out the trash on time, and they don't report the things that will get you a violation from the town, like trash on the lawn or an unregistered car in the driveway. They just kind of go about their business and live their lives. So when you're renting to college students, it's just a little more management, but the upside is more rental potential. So if you're going to be starting out young and you're willing to live in a college house or living in a college town, you could use the FHA 203k program exactly as I just described. Chop it up, rent out the rooms, live in one of the rooms or live in the basement, and let the cash flow build and save that money so you could get yourself into the next deal. Now, the other way that you could use the loan program is to buy a multifamily house. Now, this is a little more realistic for the average investor. You could buy up to a 4-unit home with the FHA 203k loan program, okay? And in a lot of areas, like in Tampa, Florida, all over the United States, you could find these quadplexes. And what you should be doing is thinking, okay, well, how can I maximize on this quadplex, right? You're gonna rent out 3 units and live in one. As I said, there is that requirement that you need to live in at least one of the units for at least 1 year's time. So you might as well move into the crappiest of the units, right? If you're looking to really build, move into the crappiest unit. If it's a 2-bedroom unit, rent out the other room if you don't mind having a roommate, and live there. And I guarantee you, if you had 4 units, the 3 units will most likely pay that whole mortgage note and allow you to cash flow. That's the position that you want to be in. Whenever you have an investment property, it's not an investment property unless it's spitting off cash for you, right? Get the idea out of your head that, hey, if I buy this house and I pay it down for 30 years, then I built this huge, nest egg or this huge piggy bank with other people's money. That is true. But believe me, you're going to want cash for your pocket, cash for your leisure, cash for the next deal that's getting generated from this project. So if it's not spitting off cash, you really don't want it, because you're going to need that cash to, one, make yourself feel like you're getting paid for the work that you're doing, right? You're going to be servicing these clients, servicing this house. And if you're not making a little money that you could spend on yourself or that you could treat yourself out to a dinner every now and then, you're going to be like, why the hell am I doing this? At year number 3, you're going to be like, this is too much work for me. I'm not making any money. You're going to get discouraged. Another thing is you want that property cash flow so that you're able to pay for incidentals that occur. Windows get broken, trees fall, storms will blow shingles off your roof, systems within your home will go bad. So you're going to need some additional cash to pay for those incidentals that do come up. And there's never going to be a home that doesn't have it. Now, if you used a 203k to renovate your property, that's the best way to do it. Renovate it from the very first day so you know exactly where you're standing. Replace the boiler. Get the electrical service updated. Redo the roof. These are things that are going to lead to catastrophes down the line, right? Change the water heater. The worst thing that you could get is that phone call in the winter, oh, there's no heat in the house. The hot water stopped working. In the summertime when it's raining all the time, oh, my roof is leaking, and now you have a mold issue or all kinds of damage. You don't want that. So you're going to want to protect yourself by doing those big items in the loan that you use to purchase a project, because that way you alleviate the need to have to replace that item until 7, 10 years down the line. You don't want to have a house that you just bought and year number 1 the boiler goes. Year number 2 you find out that you have to update electrical services. Year number 3 you're putting on a new roof. Those things are going to cost you $20,000 in total, and you haven't even cash flowed enough in your first 3 years. You're going to say, oh my God, this investing stuff is horrible. So whatever you do when you're buying the house, do the renovations so that you are satisfied with where you're at. Now, another question that came up from posting the FHA 203k loan review video was, what exactly do I mean by house hacking, and And what is that? I hear people throw around the term house hacking, and I'm just not quite sure how to go about it. Now, with house hacking, all you're doing is taking advantage of the home that you're living in to generate revenue for you. So the examples that I gave previously about buying a home in a college town and living in it while you rent out the rooms, that's one version of house hacking, because you're living in the home, you're providing the shelter that you need, but you're making sure that that shelter is generating money for your pocket. Same thing with the 4-family house. If you're able to buy a multifamily home, you put people in each unit, you have 3 units collecting rent, 1 unit that you're living in, chances are the 3 units are going to be enough to provide for all the bills and some cash flow for your pocket. If it's a 2-family house, they may not be possible, right? So the more units you have, the better off you are, because you're going to generate more revenue and potentially keep more money in your pocket, okay? More units are better, just no way around that. Now, in some areas, you're not going to be able to find 4 families. That's just how it is in some areas. But if you are able to find a 3 or 4 family in need of renovations, outdated, hasn't been renovated in 30 or 40 years, some guy's retiring and just selling his portfolio, that may be the first property that you buy, because you're going to need a place to live, right? So you might as well be living in something that's making you money rather than costing you money. Now, another thing that I love about the FHA loan program is that it sets you up to be a real estate flipper, for sure. Because the first time that I did mine, I had to go through the full process. You find a property, you get contractor bids, you hire the consultant who does the appraisal, you have draw inspections, you have somebody supervising the project and actually approving that, hey, the numbers work on this deal for it to qualify for the loan. Now, hard money functions exactly the same. When I did my first deal with hard money and they were walking me through the process, I said, wow, okay, this reminds me of the FHA 203k loan program. And the guy at Asset-Based Lending, the company that I use out in Hoboken, New Jersey, shout out to you guys. You guys have always taken care of me. So if you're looking for a hard money loan, just click on the link below for ABL, and they should be able to guide you through that process. But when I was talking to the principal there, Dan, he said that they modeled their hard money program after the FHA 203k loan program because it helps to insulate or protect the lender from making a crappy investment, okay? So a lot of the hard money lenders out there are following the FHA model to design their operations, or to design their system for lending for rental property. So by doing a 203k acquisition and rehab, it's putting you or preparing you for life as a flipper. Now, all you guys who are starting out with real estate investing, the challenge is, well, what if I own my own home already? Okay, I live somewhere else, I'm not a first-time home buyer, can I use the FHA 203k loan program? The answer is maybe, okay? If you're willing to move out of your house and make that a rental property and move into the new property, then you'd be able to do it, given that you've owned your other property for more than 3 years and the new property is a certain distance, I think it's 70 miles or 80 miles away from the original property. If you're moving to a new state and you're relocating, perfect opportunity for you to use the program again, because you're moving to a new neighborhood and that allows you to reset your first-time home buyer status, okay? Now, if you're not already a homeowner, it's perfect for you because you get to buy into real estate for almost zero down. That's as close as you're going to get to a zero down program. 3.5% on a $100,000 home is $3,500. Like that's really a little bit of money, and that's all you really need to get started in acquiring real estate. So think about it. Think about how much leverage you're getting there. You're getting the multiplier of 30 times your money by using this program, okay? So you're able to buy, a $100,000 asset with $3,500 down. There's not many things that give you that much leverage. So this program is really, really, really a sweet spot for people who are just getting started and who are willing to function and operate within the guidelines of the law. All right, it's a really good program. A lot of people get turned off by, oh my God, I have to put down 30% or 20%. That's what I've heard to invest in real estate. And that's not technically true. This is a perfect product for you to get started, for you to learn, and for you to actually go through the process of purchasing a house. So a lot of people ask, what would happen if I just use the loan program to buy an investment property and just rent it outright? If you do that, you're going to be in violation of federal laws for mortgage fraud, because what you're doing is misrepresenting yourself as a first-time home buyer or under the conditions of using this loan program, and you're not telling the truth, right? The purpose is not to have investors buy homes, it's to have people buy homes, all right? So if you misrepresent yourself and you don't live in the home and you were to default on that mortgage and you were to go into foreclosure, they're going to investigate it and they're going to realize, wait a second, this guy used this property as an investment property, mortgage fraud, handcuffs, federal prison, good night. You don't want that, right? So I wouldn't take that risk, because you're running the risk of going to prison and really ruining yourself for life just to somewhat get ahead. If you can sacrifice and live in this home for a year, 2 years, make enough money, get the next property, you can then rent it out. You don't have to live in it for the full 30 years, but you are going to have to do at least 1 year in that home. So to put it simply, here are the 4 ways you should be using the FHA 203k loan program to start your investing career. The first is house hacking. You're going to want to be able to use that home to generate income while providing you shelter. 2, you're going to want to build experience. You're going to want to learn the processes, learn the language, get familiar with what it is like to purchase a home and renovate it. This is going to set you up for utilizing hard money. 3, to take advantage of leverage. This is as close as you're going to get to a zero down purchase. You're going to be putting up very little money to get started in real estate investing. 4, the loan allows you to renovate that house. So you're going to be able to take care of the major systems like the boiler, water heater, and roof, as well as purchase homes that are not livable. A traditional loan is not going to allow you to do that. So by taking advantage of this rehab loan, you're able to get the house in a condition that is going to allow you to sleep through the night with minimal disturbances for things like the heat's not working, to renovating a home to your liking and making sure that it's finished and up to date, and you're able to compete with the other guys out there who are picking up investment grade properties. Now, with that being said, I hope you've learned a little bit more about this wonderful loan program that's going to help you get started in your real estate investing career. Now, if you've made it to the end of this video, that means that this video actually has taught you something new. Now, you better hit that like button or subscription button or whichever it is, however this is oriented. But I believe that the subscription button is right down there to the right, and the like button is right down here. If you have any other questions or you need me to elaborate a little further, I'm all ears. I actually like when people are commenting on the page, because it lets me know that people are listening. And when I'm able to answer someone's question, it really gives me some satisfaction that I'm contributing and giving back and making sure that people are making informed decisions when it comes to their real estate investing. That's why I started this channel. I wanted to teach, I wanted to connect. So if you have any questions, man, just leave them right in the comment section below. Thank you again for joining me at ENTP Life. See you in the next one.